Looking for a high-growth, cash-flowing real estate investment? In this video, we're breaking down an incredible opportunity with turnkey management and strong returns. Stay tuned to find out why now is the time to take action. Welcome Arian and Jeff to today's Bald Guy interview. Let's dive into some exciting topics about your partnership, expertise, and the incredible opportunities you're presenting to clients. Arian, let's start with you. How long have you been helping professionals achieve financial freedom through real estate investments?
Well, I got licensed in 2003, and I started doing investments around 2007. So right around the great financial crisis. So kind of nailed the timing on that one. And yeah, so a little over 20 years now.
Wonderful. Jeff, you've been a prominent figure in real estate investing for decades. How long have you and Arian been collaborating?
I think I met the builder in 7, and I met Ariane shortly thereafter. Do you remember when, Ariane?
I think it was 2010 in Austin.
There you go.
That's great to hear. Arian, you are currently promoting an exciting project in Midlothian, Texas. Can you tell us more about it and the builder behind these Class A duplexes and triplexes?
Absolutely. So this new project is in Midlothian, as you mentioned. It's duplexes and triplexes on 1 acre lots, which is something that is very unusual. I think Jeff will tell you that usually the projects that we've done in the past have been on normal builder size lots. In this particular part of the county, the smallest amount that you can subdivide land is 1 acre. So the single family houses have 1 acre, duplexes have 1 acre at least, right? So what's exciting about this project is that it's located in an area where single family homes run about $750,000 to $850,000. So it's in a more wealthy area, which then will in turn support higher rents and better returns for our investors. The builder has been developing since 1990. They've done projects in Houston, Austin, San Antonio, so all the major Texas metros. And their sort of formula that is tried and true and proven is they build projects, Class A projects, in the path of growth. So they in many areas, people want to invest in an area that's already happened, and usually that train has left the station. So what you want to do instead is you want to figure out where growth is going, and you want to buy ahead of that so that you can catch the wave on the way up. So if you were to look at their projects and somebody were to drop you and not tell you which project it is, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference because they are so similar in terms of the criteria that they look for. Like they're all zoned to good schools. They're all like close to centers of employment. They're usually within 30-minute drive to the metro area. So they all kind of fit these parameters. And that's why they work every single time.
Jeff, you've been advocating for these properties to your clients. What makes this opportunity stand out in your view?
Well, there's nothing ever wrong with having an acre that you build on. One of the things I really like is it gives duplex renters and triplex renters room to move around. And that's a big deal.
Wonderful. Arian, let's circle back to the clients you serve. Your brokerage emphasizes empowering professionals to gain financial freedom. Can you share an example of how you've transformed a client's financial trajectory?
Sure. So I'll share the example of my very first client, right? So when I first met Jeff and he became my mentor at the time, I just could not believe what I was hearing. So I couldn't wait to share it with my clients. So I actually called my best clients. I'm like, hey, I've got to show you something, right? And they're like, all right, come on over. And I showed them the numbers, and they're engineers. Most of my clients are engineers. They like numbers. They're analytical type people. So they're like, well, this can't be true. They're like, let us run the numbers and we'll get back to you, right? So they ran their numbers, and they originally said, well, my wife likes to stay at home with the kids, so we want to replace her income with real estate income. So can you help us do that? I said, sure thing. So we made a plan for them. We worked backwards from their goals to what they would need to own to be able to achieve those goals. And, to their credit, they were on it. Like they were execution machines. They just went on and just started. Like for the first time in my career, I had people that were just not questioning me or not doubting me. They were with the plan. And the funny part about that story is about 2 years later, they said, hey, we need you to come over because we want to switch the plan. I said, okay, that's fine. So I went over and they said, well, now that we see how this works, we want to switch the plan. Now my husband wants to quit his job. I said, well, that's a little bit of a different situation because your husband makes six figures, right? So we made a plan for him to do that. And, at the age of 46, they retired in 2016 and they've been retired since then. So it took them from 2007 till about 2016. So in about 9 years, they executed the plan and they've been living off the rental income since then.
Wow. Jeff, how do these kinds of success stories align with your overall investment philosophy?
I've got one client who has bought over 10 duplexes for cash, and they paid 255 for the first duplex, and they paid over 400 for the last one. And they're now selling, I think the cheapest one around is like 5.25 or something. And they're over 600 easily in Austin. It's one of those things where they can quit work anytime they want because they've got over 10 of them. I think they've got 11 or 12, and they're all running for 2,000 or more. And just do the math yourself. I think his plans, he's just found out what works. And what works for me is going to work for anybody who doesn't try to get funny with it.
Arian, you've built a reputation for offering turnkey investments with professional management. Why is having a reliable and professional management partner so crucial for success of this project? And can you elaborate on the management services provided?
Yeah, so I love real estate investments. It's my preferred method of investing personally as well. But I'll be the first one to tell you that real estate investing does not make sense unless you have the ability to find, screen, and retain great tenants over a long period of time. If you're going to have tenants turning over all the time, it is just not worth it. The math just doesn't work. So in that sense, having a great property manager, especially if you're an investor that doesn't live in the area, and I would even argue, even for the people who do live in the area, but especially for the people who live out of state, is one of the most critical puzzle pieces. So in this particular project that we're talking about, we started selling the first phase of it, and 80% of the units have already been sold. And that's because a lot of the investors that are buying, they've bought in other projects previously. And one of the reasons why they are able to and these buildings are not even built yet, right? So they are buying off a set of plans and pro forma numbers. So the reason why they're able to do that is because they have confidence in the property manager that when the property manager says, hey, the rent is this, that rent is going to materialize. And that's the first thing about real estate investing. If the rents are not there, it's just not going to happen.
Arian, you and Jeff have been working with a key property management company in Texas for years, and Bridget plays a valuable role. Tell us a little about what the right manager brings to this new Midlothian project.
Her judgment is on point. Her average tenancy is 3 to 4 years. Her tenants are happy. She's able to strike that balance between getting rent increases, but not, kicking away tenants or scaring away tenants.
Jeff, you've often stressed the importance of operational efficiency in real estate investments. How does having a management team align with your philosophy for long-term investment success?
First of all, I agree with everything, every word Arian said about Bridget. I have been there since 2007, and I have sold all kinds of duplexes and triplexes during that time. Trust me. And I've had all kinds of management. And Bridget is by far and away the best. Bridget is the definition of what a manager is supposed to be. And I can't give any higher praise than that.
Arian, what are the top reasons why an investor should take action on this opportunity right now?
There are three main reasons why an investor should make a move on this project now. The first reason is that we're in a very high interest rate environment right now. So investment uh, interest rates are somewhere in the low 8% range. And the builder has arranged special financing for this project specifically at 5.25 conventional mortgage, amortized over 30 years, and the rate is fixed for 10 years. So during that 10-year period, you would then have the opportunity to refinance to a lower interest rate. And specifically, this lender has a rate rebound program, which allows you to refinance at that lower interest rate whenever rates do come down without any lender costs. So that's the first reason. The second reason is that this project is located in DFW and in Ellis County. This is one of the hottest markets in the country. There's a lot of expected population growth and tenant demand to come. Like, the area is not done growing. It's in an area where it's a landlord-friendly state. So the rule of law allows you to operate your property without some of the downsides of tenant-friendly states that don't allow you to evict on time and so on. And finally, having a turnkey or a turnkey opportunity like this, where the builder, the property manager, the lender, and the real estate professions are all aligned and they've all done the research for you, I think it's a great opportunity for an investor to move on this project now.
Jeff, thoughts to add? Why should investors act now?
Well, I'd like to compliment Arian on what he just said, because I cannot improve on that. That is perfect. Everything he said was right on the money. One of the things that I really like about Texas is that it's still growing, and I'm not being political here, but it's a red state, and I've only invested in red states. The thing about whatever I do, I've only invested in red states, period, end of sentence. As far as the interest rates, I think the interest rates are going to cause people who get the loan that he said, which I highly recommend, is going to refinance in the next 3 years to a 30-year fixed rate loan, period. Because I think we're going to get down pretty low. Now, how low is anybody's guess? And I'm open to being wrong. I've been wrong before, but I think that with all the things that are on the menu to be done are going to cause rates to drop in the next 3 years. And I think by Christmas, you'll see what I'm talking about, because we'll have much lower rates than we do now. Otherwise, listen to Arian and do what he says.
Jeff, you've seen firsthand how these types of investments have grown over the years. Based on that experience, what's the bigger picture investors should keep in mind?
I think the key interest rate and everything else that goes along with it are fine and dandy. I think the number one thing that I tell clients is, when I started selling these, they were $245 and $255, and the rent wasn't $1,200. Now they're 5.25 to $625, $650, and the rents are over $2,000 in many spots. It speaks for itself.
Don't miss out on this opportunity. Go to schedule.baldguyinvesting.com to schedule a call with Jeff and see if this investment is the right fit for you. And if you found this helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more smart real estate strategies.